This is crazy to say considering Steph Curry missed basically the whole series, but I was more impressed with Minnesota in the second round than OKC. I don't know, I just can't get over that weak zone Denver deployed, and OKC struggled against it. It felt like at times the Nuggets' strategy was actually just let them shoot wide open butt naked shots. We do not care because we know they will miss. They blew them out in game 7, but my goodness, it took them long enough. Denver was a pack of zombies on the court. Aaron Gordon's hip was about to explode. Jokic was thinking about horses. Maybe I'm too harsh, but I think if OKC was what everyone hyped them up to be, that series would have been over in 5 games, hence why I'm leaning towards Minnesota. Now, I have my worries though. First off, turnovers. Through the playoffs, 14.8 turnovers per game for Minnesota. Their passing and decision making as a team can waver at times. Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle have their work cut out for them in this area. Alex Caruso, Cason Wallace, Shea, and Jalen Williams all averaging 1.5 steals or above during the postseason. On top of that, OKC doesn't turn it over much. Hoop Goose had a great post. The first part I really agree with. He stated, I feel like Minnie is really well suited to guard OKC and really poorly suited to score on them. That being said, one of the main reasons I really believe in them is the Anthony Edwards factor. He's been doing this thing that all the greats do. He just lets the game come to him in the first half. There has been times this postseason where you're like, Ant Edwards is playing bad. He needs to be more aggressive. He'll have a very tough shooting half and you're like, oh, he might not have it. It might not be his night. Then all of a sudden, he hits 1 3-pointer. And from there, he just takes over the game, whether it's from a shot-making perspective or creating wide open looks for his teammates. His growth as a playmaker makes this team so dangerous. 5.9 assists per game so far in the playoffs, but more importantly, a career low 2.3 turnovers per game, a career low for the playoffs for him throughout his career. Also, one thing Minnesota doesn't get credit for the past 2 seasons is mentally they are not shook by the moment. They hit big shots to sustain runs. They hit dagger shots. And when they have an opportunity to kill a team, they usually step up. And I think they have the mental edge over OKC in that aspect. There's something about Ant Edwards' personality and confidence. I feel like it's contagious. It makes his teammates confident in big moments. It's something you can't really describe, but if you've paid attention to Minnesota, you probably get what I'm saying. Also, a big reason why OKC won versus Denver was the bench trio of Caruso, Cason Wallace, and Aaron Wiggins were dominant. The thing is, Minnesota has a chance to match their impact with Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Dante DiVincenzo. The thing is, those 3 were butt cheeks versus Golden State. Honestly, Dante DiVincenzo low-key was still wearing a Warriors jersey. Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Naz Reid were nowhere to be found offensively. So my question is, do they step up or continue their struggles? Taking that bench advantage away from OKC could be huge because their starters have been underwhelming thus far in the playoffs. 134 minutes for them, just a plus 4.1 net rating, and taking away that Memphis series, negative 1.2 net rating versus Denver. Meanwhile, the starting lineup for Minnesota plus 19.6 net rating. And would you look at their second lineup with some bench additions plus 37.3 net rating. So the first time this postseason, OKC's opponent, Minnesota, has the capability to match the depth of their team. That's where this series was lost by Denver. Also, I say this every Minnesota video, and here I am again. The huge advantage they have is their quote-unquote small lineups are still massive. Minnesota can match the size and length of Chet and Hardenstein with Gobert and Randle. They also win the mass battle in that matchup. Then, if both teams go small, Reed and Randle are still massive human beings, and they can survive versus small, quick, 5-out lineups. So rebounding wise, they can win that battle. That being said, OKC still is lethal in this regard, and they thrive on the offensive glass. They've been one of the best rebounding teams so far in the playoffs, so I wouldn't count them out. That being said, I do expect Minnesota to dominate the glass in their victories. Lastly, as you could probably tell throughout this video, I just trust Minnesota's offense more than OKC's. The Thunder have Shea, then a bunch of question marks in my opinion. Jalen Williams has been really inconsistent. With Minnesota, I know I got Ant Edwards, and at this point, I know I have Julius Randle. He has stepped up in a huge way. He's been so consistent for them. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if OKC shuts Randle down at times, maybe for a game or two, but he's playing with so much confidence. I think he's going to be effective. He has muscle advantage and size advantage versus many of their players, and he's been cooking mismatches all postseason long. That's what gets his game going. And then Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, both capable of big nights. Dante is due as well. OKC has the advantage defensively, but don't get it twisted. Minnesota's still an elite defense. And then offensively, I'm telling you, Minnesota's got the edge. You heard it here first. Minnesota in 6 games. Comment your thoughts below immediately.